Okay, to write a function for the given graph, we need to identify the key features. So first, let's locate our minimum and our maximum because they're the easiest to identify. And then from there, you can just locate the middle between the min and max, and that's going to be our midline. So in this case, our midline is y is equal to -1. Using the midline, we can find the amplitude. So if you count the number of units from the midline to the maximum, that's going to give us 4. Y-intercept, that's going to be 0, -1, and note that it is on our midline. That's going to tell us that this is a sine function. To determine whether we have a reflection or not, we'll look at how the function behaves from the y-intercept. From the y-intercept, we go up to the maximum, so that tells us it's a regular sine, so there's no reflection. To find period, we can locate two consecutive maximum, and then we just calculate the distance between the two. So we have pi and 5 pi, so that is going to be 4 pi for the period. Now we need to identify A, B, D. Okay, so A is our amplitude, which in this case is 4. D is our midline, and midline is at -1. B, okay, we're going to require a little bit of work to find B. So B can be found by setting up a proportion. We know period is 2 pi over B, and our period is 4 pi. So we can write 4 pi over 1, cancel out the pi. So we have 2 over b is equal to 4 over 1. Cross multiply, you're going to have 4b is equal to 2. Divide both sides by 4. So b is equal to a half. Okay, so b is equal to a half. Now we can write a function and use a different color. Okay, blue. So it'll be f of x is equal to 4 sine 1/2 x minus 1. Next example, same thing, identify our minimum, our maximum, and kind of visually our count, okay, the middle. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 units. So the middle is going to be at 4. So our midline is 4. Then our amplitude is going to be 3, because that's the distance between the midline to the maximum. Okay, y-intercept is at 0, 1. Notice it is not on the midline, so that automatically makes it a cosine. And to check to see if it's reflection, we want to see where does our graph go after the y-intercept. It goes up to the maximum. Usually cosines have the y-intercept start on your maximum, but this one has it on the minimum, so we know that there is a reflection. Sorry, it is 10:55. It's getting late. Okay, so where was I? Now we need to find A. So H is our amplitude. 3, and then we need to include a negative in front because we have a reflection. D is our midline, which is 4. Now we need to find B. So 2 pi over B is equal to our period. Oh, we haven't found our period. Okay, so period, I'm going to choose this minimum and this minimum. The difference or the distance between 0 and pi is pi. So period is pi. So we're going to solve this proportion. Pi over 1, cancel out the pi. we have 2 over b is equal to 1 over 1. Cross multiply, b is going to equal to 2. Okay, so we're going to write our function. F of x is equal to negative 3 cosine 2x plus 4. All right, last one. Okay, maximum, minimum, midline. So midline is 0 or y equal to 0. Whoops, sorry. Don't know what happened there. Let's write this properly. Y is equal to 0. Okay, amplitude is 2. Okay, I think the computer is as tired as I am, so it's making a bunch of weird marks. Okay, sorry, midline we say was y is equal to 0. Amplitude is 2. Y-intercept is 0, 0. And it is on our midline, so we know that this is a sine graph. Is there a reflection? Well, from the midline, we go down to our minimum. So yes, there is a reflection because normally on a sine graph, we start on our midline and then we go up to the maximum line. All right, period. Well, period here, there aren't any two nice consecutive maximum and minimum that allows you to find the period nicely. So what we're going to do is we're going to use two alternating points on the midlines. Okay, so here I pick this point, I skip the middle one, and then I'm going to use pi over 2. So the difference between pi over 2 and 0 is pi over 2. So that works out. Now we can set up a proportion and solve for b. So 2 pi over b is equal to pi over 2. Cancel out the pi. So we have 2 over 1 is 2 over b is equal to 1 over 2. Cross multiply and you get b is equal to 4. A in this case, our amplitude, what was our amplitude? Is 2. We have a reflection, so A is going to be negative. D is our midline, it's going to equal to 0. So putting everything together, your function is negative 2 sine, okay, because our y-intercept is our midline. Sine of 4x plus 0. You can write plus 0 or you can not include it.